everybody, my name is Miss Madeline and I am your new garden educator from Grow Portland. We have partnered with Creston to expand this garden and build brand new raised beds and provide garden lessons for all of you, which is super exciting. So this fall you get to look forward to some virtual garden lessons with us, and you'll get to see how this garden is growing. I am from right here in Portland, Oregon, and some of my favorite things in the garden are tomatoes, herbs, and one of my favorite animals that lives in the garden is a hummingbird. So for our virtual garden school this fall, we have some expectations that we can all follow to ensure that we all have a really fun and awesome time together learning about the garden. So our first expectation is to be kind to all living things. While I'm out here in the garden, I'm going to be kind to all of the worms and the birds and the butterflies. And when you get to do some of garden activities at home, we expect you to be kind to the living things you have in your house and in your yard. We also want to be brave and try new things. Garden school is new for you, and teaching online is new for us. But if we all stick with it together, I think we can still have some awesome times being brave and trying this new way of learning about the garden. We also want to ask for help if you need it. We will be here to answer questions, and don't be afraid to turn to whoever you have at home to help you out with some of our garden activities. We'll want to use kind and respectful language, especially when we're interacting online. We're always going to be kind with each other. And most importantly, we are going to have some fun together this fall. So here we are in the Creston School garden. It may look familiar to most of you, but there are some new things happening behind me. You might notice that there are brand new raised beds, and you can thank a group of your parents and teachers who made that happen this summer. And we're really excited to be growing lots of new crops. So let's take a look around and see what we have growing here in our garden. Here in this bed, we have some radishes growing amongst some peas. These are plants that both like to grow in the cooler weather like we have going on right now here in early fall. Here's another fall plant called leeks. They are in the onion family, and they take a long time to grow, so we can plant them in the fall and they'll grow all through the winter and be ready next spring. We have broccoli growing. That will also grow over the winter, and in the spring we will have, guess what? Purple broccoli to enjoy. Do you recognize this vegetable? You guessed it, it's lettuce. Similar to the lettuce, we are growing spinach in this bed. That's good for salads too. In this bed, we have some kale growing, as well as looks like some radishes popping up around the kale. Over here, we have some herbs. Can you guess what kind of herbs these are? They're great in soups, all sorts of things. We've got rosemary, thyme, and a special herb called pineapple sage over there that will grow some red flowers soon. And last but not least, we've got some more herbs in this bed. Cilantro, we've got some parsley and some dill. But what else do we notice growing in this bed? It is looking a little bit weedy. There are blades of grass coming up everywhere. So, as gardeners, what do we think we should do with all of that grass? Pull them out! We're gonna do some weeding today in the garden. I have this cool tool called a hori. I've got my garden gloves on, and we are going to pull out some of this grass in order to help the herbs here grow. Because grass, it likes a lot of water, it likes a lot of nutrients, And if the grass is getting the water and the nutrients out of this bed, then what's left over for our plants? Not much. So that's why we like to do some weeding in the garden to help make sure our plants have everything that they need. Ta-da! Now we have a beautiful clean garden bed with no grass growing so that our herbs can have a good start in life. Our next garden activity that we are doing today is some planting. Here I've got a seed packet with tender baby leaf chard, which is a nice salad green that we are going to plant here around our lettuces, because the lettuce doesn't take up that much space in this bed, and so we can fit a few more things, and this stuff we will harvest and eat pretty much the same way that we eat the lettuce, so they go together really nicely. So let's take a look here and see what these seeds look like. Has anybody ever seen a chard seed before? Let's see here. Imagine what you think this seed might look like, and then I'll show you. So you might be surprised. Check it out. Have you ever seen seeds that look like this? They are pretty weird. So we're going to make some holes, some rows among the lettuce here, and then we'll sprinkle our seeds in. So with my garden tool, I'm just gonna make some fun rows, some lines in between my lettuce plants. Don't have to be that precise about it. I'm making kind of random shapes here, and that's where I'll be sprinkling in my seeds. So now that I have made my lines in the soil, what is my next step? I think it is now time to plant my seeds. Just sprinkling them in. So just holding them from kind of up above, I am sprinkling my baby chard seeds in here. And I don't have to be too careful about this because these plants are just going to grow small. They don't need a lot of space between them. So I'm just going to kind of crowd them in here, and then when they're ready we can come in with some scissors and just snip, 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 and have a lot of really yummy salad greens. Now that we have all of our seeds planted, our next step is to cover them up gently. They only need about a quarter to half an inch of soil over the top of the seeds, just enough for them to be covered snug in the soil where they can get some moisture and some warmth, and they will be happy. And then we will start to see them sprouting, hopefully in about a week or two. So we'll come and check back on these little baby chard seeds, and so you can see how they are progressing. So thank you all for joining me today in the Creston School Garden. It was so nice to meet you all virtually and have the opportunity to show you around this awesome space. We got to do some weeding today, some planting, and see what all is growing in our garden. So I look forward to seeing you all next time.